Okay. Um, it is just so nasty to deal with what we do, what we target individual have to deal with. Um, I'm just hearing these bottom feeders next door, which are perps contracted by the government, try to make me accept these things, and they're just like so gimmicky, and trying to make me be, first of all, acceptive of the manipulations, and think I'll ever let them live that fantasy. It's never gonna happen. Um, and it's just so nasty. First of all, the dream manipulations are the foulest things. But I was looking back and seeing when I made my first video about dream manipulation. I think it was in like September of like 2020. And I guess today they wanted me to be descriptive of this. It's so nasty. Uh, it is foul. I had a dream where, for some, at least the dreams, one thing is it's not as bad as when they do these sexual dreams. The dream itself was not sexual, but they started making me feel stimulations, which is things they do too. And I've talked about it in my dreams, I've talked about it in my videos about dreams. And so we target individual TIs. When you put in this program as a target individual, you become a target individual. You become this human subject, and they implement these tactics using this sophistication of weaponry where they can modulate your dreams, your memories, your thoughts, your reactions, your perceptions. Everything can be manipulated. And it's so disturbing. But then they want you to be acceptive when you recognize the falsification of what you're experiencing, meaning that you know what you're getting is not something you experience naturally. And then they surround you by perps, trash the government utilize. And these people using this V2K technology, which can project their voices, they can project their own voices onto your brain. And, when they talk, usually they try to use the gimmicky voice. You realize that they're gimmicky when you see them in person and you hear them their voice actually, you hear them, it's like, oh my gosh. It's like they use these losers that find empowerment. They also find like strength in this moment of feeling like, because they're in a program where they're participant in your targeting and maybe others that can do so much to you. They find this empowerment. And these people are just wearing sweatpants or like PJs bottom, and so they are just like as we're not talking about elites, creme de la creme. And if you are a super intellectual person, that you become a almost damn near childlike individual. You see them actually stooping to a level that is just childlike, or they're already like childlike. It's either they make themselves damn near retarded, or they are actually there. And they use these different tonalities and try to make you be subscriptive. The dream I experienced last night was so nasty, but it's the common things they do. Well, at least for a while they stopped doing it, but they come back now. Before it used to be like every night. Every night it was just disgusting. I used to wake up in sweats and just being disturbed by it. But they've done it so much that now I'm like, I like it. Just like I deal with it and just whatever. I can deal with it. But I remember when this initially started. It's so disturbing. But they were doing these nasty things, and today, this morning, they made me have this dream. Those babies, and they started giving me stimulations. I woke up to like super disturbing stimulation, which is the typical things. And they're trying to be like, oh, we mind it with this like trash. No, you've literally manipulated me to experience this. And then when I wake up, I get up and I look at my Instagram, and there's like an old picture of like this rapper, Fat Joe. Old one, when he went to like some kind of award show, and it's him, his like teenage kid, and his wife. And it's so nasty. They were trying to make me look at this teenage kid in these ways. And then, because let's just say she's not small. Like, if you know the rapper Fat Joe, whatever, he's not a small person himself. And she kind of have like she looked a little bit like, I'm not going to compare it to her father, but I'm just saying like, it's just, she's kind of, she's not a small size person, right? And that's her when she's a kid. It's an old picture. I don't know what this person looks like now, but when she was a kid, a teenager, and they were, first try to make me look at her in a sexual way, and then try to, in my mind, try to create a battle. Maybe she's not, like, she's definitely a teenage kid there, but she has everything done to her, so they could try to make me be doubtful of that. But then I was like, I know she's a kid, and then they try to make me, like, say something mean about her, because, like I said, she's not a small person. She's kind of like her father in a sense, but not really like that. And they'll try to make me be mean to her, and then try to create a perception, try to make me look at her in a different way and change these things. It's so nasty. And it's like nothing wrong with this kid. She's good. She looked great. Good for her. She did her thing. But they are trying to create a way to make me look at her in a sexual way. And then, because that wasn't happening, try to be insultive of her and how she look, in the sense that she's a big kid. She kind of looked like her father a little bit, and so they'll try to be like mean to her, like, oh, the shape of her head is this big, this and this, things like that. Just mean things, mean-spirited things on somebody who's just doing her thing. It's so mean. But trying to be either degrading to her or try to make me look at her in a sexual way. And then you have this trash, you try to be like, oh, we got you. It's like, ugh, trash. This lowlife are nasty. All they do is just try to force you to accept this nasty manipulation. That's their job. That's what they're supposed to. They're supposed to make you look at things in these disturbing sexual ways or degrading ways. And then they go through this nasty interaction with you, and then they try to make themselves appear to be winners. Oh, you're so big. It's like, of course, I'm a target individual. I'm a guinea pig in a governmental program. There's no winning or losing. I'm gonna just get what this target individual, I'm gonna get what this program does to target individual. And they use these losers who found this out. Oh, wait, you're so big, we're so one. Yes, you're such a loser. You think this is winning. I am a target individual. You're trash the government use to do these things to us who are not capable to do anything about it. And you're trash. It's like, oh, you're stupid. Losers. Delusional trash that don't live in reality. They live in these distorted manipulations and fantasies that they live, they create themselves. I'm never going to let them live the fantasy. Whatever goes in my brain, manipulations and all, I understand it's something that's being manipulated. That's why they use these childlike individuals who have no shame and have no sense of humiliation or sense of respect. Clowns. And when you see grown people try to play this game, you're like, oh, you're so disturbed. You're so sad. Pathetic shit. Death comes to all of us. I'm thankful I didn't have to live my life doing these things. We're doing whatever possible to try to force somebody to be accepting of things that he was never or she's never going to accept, because she knows or he knows that these things are manipulated. And then try to be proudful or think that you're here in a winning state because you are working for a program that's experimenting on human beings, human subjects who will never be able to stop whatever's going to happen to them, because they're against a governmental entity that is just experimenting, not even experimenting, developing technology that is abnormally advanced to a level of sophistication that is nothing you really can do, and the sources and the funding are just limitless, and you just a bottom feeder in this program that now you think you're a winner. This trash are just weak. It take 2 seconds for them. They're fragile as it gets, and they're like, we have more. Like they almost like, I think you think they almost like there's something just like make them almost like on a spectrum. But they're not. You see grown-ass men do that and you look at them, it's like, you're even more pathetic than these kids. And then they get mad. Oh, they're gonna cut you. It's like, cut everything. Listen to yourself first of all. Trash. In my brain, and it's so played with. They forcing me to get stimulations and whatever. I have the picture of this. It's so sad. Doing their best to force me to get reactions of some sort, which I know there's nothing I can do about that. That's how they make me have this experience toward babies. Forget about just teenage kids. It's so disturbing, but they do what they do. So, for me, it's just understanding that I'll never be myself again. And whatever's going to happen to me, I'm just so thankful that I didn't have to live life. I truly mean it. I'm thankful that I'm able to express it now while I can. Because when you're by yourself, isolated, you just kind of, it's hard to express yourself because you're not vocal. But I want to vocally say this: thank you, God, that I didn't have to live life like this trash. Thank you. And so when I go through these horrible things that I'm going to go through because of this governmental entity using these tactics and developing their technology, which I, the civilian that I am, the person who's like many other target individuals, can't do anything about it. I just ask God to give me strength to deal with whatever I need to deal with, because these governmental entities have no, I mean, there's nothing they cannot do to you once you put in this program. Even though they use the psyops of these bottom feeders who are nothings and just bottom feeders, but diluting themselves into something else, like, oh no, it's gonna be our rope, it's gonna be our knife. So it's like, this real, that's what they needed. But you have to be strong, and till the last breath, never subscribe or identify with any of these manipulations, and look at them for what they truly are. This trash that you see, just the bottom feeders. They're the nothing. Let them speak in whatever tonality, in childlike voices, in fierce voices, in menacing voices, using V2K. But you know that just, you see them in person, trash. Who live day off and their job, what they're supposed to be doing, what they are contracted to do, is to break you down, to deplete you. That's their life. That's what they are employed to do. So see them as this trash contracted to do these things. Whatever fantasy they try to come up with, whatever theater that's going to be implemented is that theater. But do not get it twisted. This comes from entities that are governmental. Entities like the Department of Defense, CIA, DARPA. This trash is like they're just delusional trash that want you to accept the PSYOP. But these entities who actually happen to have a lot of pedophiles in these agencies are the ones coming up with these tactics, architecting these tactics, and utilize this trash to implement these things to you. So stay strong and know yourself, and do not subscribe to it, regardless of whatever warnings that they just use to disorient you, regardless of whatever retardations they say, regardless of whatever they're going to do to you. Do not identify with this nastiness. So stay strong.